Another Monday.
Another Monday.
Yes.
Have at it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, carnivores and apex predators of the digital realm, welcome to the most ferociously entertaining event of your week. It's Monday, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for the Fierce Felines broadcast. I am your co-host, Laura, from Eat to Your Health with Carnivore.
Get ready to unleash your inner beast as we dive into the wild world of carnivorous content with a dash of humor, a sprinkle of knowledge, and a whole lot of roaring excitement. I am your co-host, Robin Heron, Carnivorous Grandma.
Yay! I'm your host, G Brown, the Lifestyle Changer from Hanging with the Browns. And alongside me is our untamed team, Feline Things, prowling the virtual jungle to bring you the latest in carnivorous escapades, jaw-dropping facts, and a whole lot of fun.
Whether you're a meat-loving carnivore or just curious about the thrilling world of predators, this is the show for you. I am your co-host, Rhonda Townsend, Carnivore Leo.
Rebecca?
Oh,
she can't hear anything.
Oh.
Okay, well, her part is, so lock in your coordinates, set your reminders, and sharpen those claws because every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Fierce Felines are going to whisk you away on a captivating journey into the heart of the wild. Join us for an hour of raw, unfiltered entertainment that's sure to leave you purring with excitement. It's time to pounce on another unforgettable episode of the Fierce Felines, and that is our last of the co-hosts, Rebecca from Carnivore Family.
Thank you. I can hear you guys now. I don't know what happened.
Oh, yeah.
It happens.
Good. We can hear you.
There you go. Yep,
Awesome.
life happens, honey. Life happens.
So we
right
are
ahead,
excited to be back with you again this evening. Welcome. We are on episode 4. And tonight we're going to be exploring carnivore success stories. But before we get to that, I just want to tell you guys a little about my holiday. Oh my gosh, I had a great Thanksgiving Day. I was able to go to my daughter's house. This is the first time that she has hosted, my oldest daughter. And so all that cooking that I used to do, I didn't have to do that. I just brought a dish to pass like everybody else. So that was amazing. We had a great time. It was probably about, 20 of us or so at my daughter's house for Thanksgiving dinner. I did stay carnivore. I ended up having turkey and oh my gosh, I can't even remember. They had ham there, but the ham had brown sugar on it, so I didn't end up having any of that. But I did the turkey that she made was so good. And what she did was she cooked that turkey upside down.
Yep.
And that
That's how I
turkey
do
was
it.
delicious. It was delicious. In addition to that, it was my mom's 75th birthday party on Saturday, and we had a great time doing that. My mom was beautiful. She was a beautiful queen for her birthday, and we just had an awesome, awesome weekend. And I also got time to spend some time with my grandkids. So it was a very full weekend, and it was an awesome time.
Awesome.
I watched some of that where you sent out the pictures of your mom, and I kept going. I blew the picture up. I was like, I got it. She ain't 75. I do not believe that. I was like, she don't even have crow's feet. I was like, that's amazing. She looks beautiful. So
Thank you.
my Thanksgiving, I stayed carnivore. I've been doing it for a long time. So I made the turkey. Of course, I do it upside down. I stuffed in all the butter and stuff like that. I didn't eat any of the turkey because it doesn't seem to really fill me up or make me feel really good. I don't necessarily have a histamine response, but I'm like 2 minutes later, I'm like, where's the beef at? I need beef. I need beef. So I just don't do that anymore. So I made ribs, a whole rack of ribs. I didn't eat them all, but I did eat 2 of them. And literally, I had the bone like this with it on there. And I looked like a little miniature caveman here. So that's what I had. I did make some regular food because even though my daughter had it at her house, they love my sweet potatoes. We grow our own. And so I did do those with some honey that's local, stuff like that. Of course, I didn't eat it, didn't taste it. I made a dip for my grandson because he's 10, he'll be 11. And he was like, Mimi, you made this dip last year. And I was like, I don't even recall making that. So I had to go to Pinterest and I was like, oh, yeah, I did make that. So I made it. And of course, I'm whipping it. And I was like, I don't know if that's the right amount of sugar. So I had to have my husband, I was like, here, you do this. Had him taste it. And he's like, yeah, it needs a little more. And I don't know. They all are still on to carbs. So they said it was great. So we had a really good day. And I was the only one, and I'm 52, who had the energy to run around with all the grandkids after. Yep, the rest of them were all like, they were miserable. And I was like, I don't miss that. So, yeah, it was a great day.
That's
Good, that's
amazing.
good.
I think I saw your video, Laura. I think
Yeah.
it was the ribs that you posted
Yes.
on YouTube, and they did look delicious.
They were great.
Okay. Yeah. So I too had a great Thanksgiving, and I think everybody knows that I was not going to stay carnivore on Thanksgiving. So I'm being transparent. I wasn't. I planned it. I have a small family, so it was just 6 of us: my son, his girlfriend, and then my husband, mom, and my daughter. And I made everything. We had turkey. I also cooked a couple of ribeyes. And originally I thought about maybe I could just eat the turkey and the ribeyes, but I really love my cooking. I love Thanksgiving, so I wanted to have everything. I did make the mac and cheese and the cream cheese mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, 7-Up cake, and I did have the collard greens with the smoked ham hocks and the sweet cornbread. So I feel actually was surprised that I didn't feel bad after eating it. I think because I just had a little bit, I didn't overeat on it. But I just want to be honest and transparent that I did indulge, and I am right back on track, just so everyone knows. I am full carnivore, and I'll talk about later what I made after Thanksgiving. But I just, I think that's about it. So hopefully I don't get too much hate for that.
Your body.
We love you, Rhonda.
That's right.
But,
Right. I think you did perfect.
I did. I feel great because if I had went out to eat, the food wouldn't have been as nutritious, because there's no seed oils in what I cooked. And I use butter. I use the real, the best ingredients that I can. So I have to say the only bad thing was I do had, there was some flour in the roux that I made with the mac and cheese, and there was sugar, but I think everything else was pretty healthy considering, and I didn't feel bad afterward. So
that's good.
That was my Thanksgiving, y'all.
Awesome.
Yeah, we always tell people it's like if we could be the kind of people that just did it once or twice a year, we would probably do it. But we know ourselves well enough to know that it would derail us. My husband and I, we would just be like, it would be like, oh, we're just going to do this today. And then it would be like, well, there's leftovers the next day. And then it'd be like, okay, we're going to start on Monday. And then Monday would come and you'd be like, well, we haven't had pizza in a while. And so that's just our pattern. And so, we wish we could be those people. And then, on my channel, I say all the time that we are the no exceptions family, because once we start looking at like, okay, we'll just do it for birthdays. Well, that's 10 birthdays. And then it's holidays. And it's like, okay, well then it's, these things. So it's like for us, it was just easier to be all or nothing. So, but that's great that it doesn't derail you and you can enjoy it. And it didn't make you feel sick. You're not going to get any shade from me.
There's no leftovers either way. And I have nothing else in the house to tempt me with. So, but I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all you felines for actually sticking with it. And I just want to say this before we move on, that I'm hoping from now on that I can go through the holidays with being full carnivore without going off track at all. So that's my goal.
Yeah.
That's great.
Goal.
That's good.
Well, I
So
think that this was your first Christmas, Thanksgiving, right? Because it
Yes,
hasn't
it
been
was.
365 for you.
Mhm.
There you go. Go ahead,
No.
Rebecca.
Oh, so I was gonna say, yeah, so we stayed on track, and we took the kids to the grocery store, and we let them pick out a bunch of stuff that we don't typically get, either because of cost or just because it's not great carnivore foods, like a lot of processed deli meats and sausages. They wanted to get bratwurst. They wanted to get, what is it? I can't touch the K.
Kielbasa?
Sausages.
Kielbasa.
Kielbasa. Yes,
Kielbasa.
they like
Yeah.
the sausages. One of my daughters is like, "Can we have bologna?" I'm like, "Sure, we'll
Ugh.
have bologna, whatever." You know, we do sweet and cheese roll-ups, and I know I was like, "Really? Sure, we can have bologna, whatever." You know, it's and then picked out like 8 different kinds of cheeses, and then we made steak bites, and then my son wanted to try a carnivore pizza, so we made a pizza out of ground turkey. I was like, this is the only turkey we're going to have is ground turkey crust in the pizza. And, that's just, so we just made kind of a spread like that. And everybody had great fun. The kids helped make different parts of it. So they all took turns cooking, and that worked for us. And most of the kids said it was their favorite Thanksgiving they'd ever had. And we live far away from family. So it was just us. And so
That's good.
everybody had a good time. And so that's what we do for the holidays now.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well,
Nice.
those that follow us know that ever since, I started it before my mom passed, but I was missing too many people around the table. So our new adventure, we're normally on a ship for Thanksgiving, and they do have a Thanksgiving menu. They have a regular menu as well, but things that you can get, they have turkey. Someone said they did sweet potatoes, and ironically, I was not in the main dining room on that evening because I knew I wasn't going to eat the turkey. It's too dry for me. It's like, because a lot of times they want to do the breast and so, and no, I want a leg.
Yeah.
I want the
Want
thigh.
a
Yeah,
thigh.
so I opted to do the buffet upstairs. I print out a letter to the ship, the dining people, to let them know I only eat meat. Frederick and I stayed on course for the entire week, except the last time I was on the ship. It was we got on Friday, we got off Monday, and we said it's really not gonna hurt because we get free drinks. We've cruised so much, we get free drinks, and we took advantage of it. And depression set in for me, and it was really bad because I hadn't felt that being carnivore, and so I said I would not do that again. So where I kind of compromised, instead of doing multiple, I did one a day, and that ended up besides bringing me out of ketosis with that sugar over multiple days, because I most definitely checked that when I got home. Yeah, I'm way over on the other end. Pretty much stayed true, except the night we got off the ship Sunday. That Friday night, I decided to bump it up a notch. It's like, oh, I've been feeling really well. So guess what? I'm going to have 2. And in the middle of the night, about 2:00 in the morning, there was such anger, not at the fact that I did it. Little bitty things were starting to irritate me. Now, what get ready to irritate me at 2:00 in the morning? The room is dark. I started rethinking things. I don't know. Frederick might have said something like, "Oh no." I was still up 2 hours later, and he woke up and gave an idea for a title for a show, and I lost it.
Oh.
Why you didn't say that last night?
Frederick.
And then And that just makes me think of marriages that end, arguments that start, all kind of things that happen because of that imbalance of that sugar that takes you up and down. I'm much
Yep.
more like this now. And I said, "Oh my God, I do remember flying off the handle. They used to call me the light switch. You didn't know if that switch was going because it'll go up and down, and it had to do with the sugars.
Mhm.
And then that ended up making me angry that it's unleashed to us, and then they want to give meds for it. And I did, and I went to him and I said, you know what, that was so unwarranted, but I'm really glad that it happened, because what I ended up doing was leaving the room, going to catch the sunrise, and I recorded I think a 6-minute video talking about that moment. And I'm going to pop it in and air it somewhere on one of our shows, but I kept it for my own journal, so to speak, because it is unfair what it does to our bodies as women. I've never been a man, so I can't speak on that, but it took me right out of just being a sensible person and started an argument for nothing. But listen, real quick, just to tell everybody, put in QQQ if you guys have any questions for us. We're going to get that part in now. If you have some questions, like, share, and let me see. It's time to show the video. So let me tell you guys what I did. I asked the ladies to send me before and after pictures. All right. And I told them to send them to me individually because they have no idea what I did. And I put together a before and after. So this will be their first time seeing it along with you. And then we'll discuss after. So hold on. Let me find it. What did I do with it, y'all? Because I brought it in. There's no sound on it because I didn't want to YouTube and all that other stuff. So.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, wow.
That's her before. But did you see that eczema? Oh, ho, ho.
Amazing.
And there's your letter.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Look at you, girl.
That's great.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Oh my
gosh.
goodness.
No way.
So wow.
Oh, wow. What a difference.
Oh my
Uh-uh.
God.
What?
Wow.
Shut your mouth.
The dress.
Dang.
The dress.
Hey.
That was awesome.
I'm telling you, a lot of times people want to see the befores. They want to know these different things. And it's like, so I really hope y'all saw how big the sister girl was. I wasn't playing. You couldn't tell me I wasn't cute either. I was just forever posing. My husband said I was shallow half. I didn't see what was going on. So for me, in that video, and all of that was not like the same time frame because I've gone up and down. And for those that don't know, I was vegan prior to starting this lifestyle. And I now use a hashtag. It's Frederick and I. It's our road to 60. You'll see that on a lot of things that I do. He turned 60, y'all, in a little over a couple of weeks. And then I turned 60 in July. And I say hashtag never be big again. Because now I speak to those, if you're just starting, if you've been a part of, you really get to listen and know your body. So for everything that we said, those that, did something more, it is okay because this is your body. The only way you're going to figure things out a lot of times is to try something. For me, barbecue sauce. And when I saw how much sugar and sweeteners are actually in barbecue sauce, I said, no wonder why I can have a small amount and it affects me like that. And so it is just really to encourage people to listen to your body. There are different levels to this diet. There, you have your strict carnivores, and you have all the way to like ketovore, where you're, a little more heavy on the meat. I went and got some Greek yogurt today, even though it ain't my thing, but I really have to share, because that ground lamb, ground beef, and ground pork I mixed together with an egg, and then I fried it in a pan. You couldn't tell me I wasn't eating a gyro. I needed that Greek yogurt, and I put a little sour cream. I didn't have a lot of it. Mixed it up, and I was like, "Oh, this is because it's the lamb for me," and that's what it reminded me of. And then I had gas for 40 minutes.
Oh no.
It was like I looked at Frederick. I held my stomach up. I was like, my shirt up. I was like, look at my stomach. It was as if someone had and just blew into me.
Oh,
So then the question becomes, do you want to feel that again, or just eat the meat without the, that's the great part about this diet, is you figuring out your body and go from there. So I'm marking off the questions. Go ahead, ladies. I'm just paying attention over here.
Yeah. So, just looking at those pictures, I almost like shed a little tear looking at those pictures of myself and thinking that I don't have to continue to do the yo-yo diet roller coaster. I've been dieting since I was 11, and up and down and up and down, and trying so many different things, trying everything that I could think of to try to keep my weight moderated. And I thought, well, I've been like keeping my weight down, but those pictures say otherwise. So that time when I say I turn around 2 years later, those are those pictures. 2 years later, those 2 years later picture, like, oh my gosh, I got to go on another diet. So just not having to do that anymore is just amazing. And then also just that whole getting rid of health issues is absolutely incredible. Like, my body, when I'm on carbohydrates, wants to be hypertensive. And it wants to creep up and want to have headaches and high blood pressure. And I have not had to deal with that because I am on the proper human diet. The IBS, my body will tell me immediately if I'm eating something that I should not be eating. I ate some fish. It was cooked in olive oil, and I had a swelling on my arm immediately the same day, right after I ate it. And I'm like, I cannot eat either this fish or this cooked olive oil, whatever it was. I can't eat that anymore. So the body those body cues are so real. Whereas when I was on carbs, I didn't know what was causing the problem because I was eating everything. And so now as soon as I eat something, immediately my body will tell me, nope, you can't eat that. Like I tried these beef sticks, Chomps beef sticks, which are pretty good. Technically they're pretty good. You look at the ingredients, being in the state of a proper human, and it's just absolutely incredible. I've been feeling a little emotional though. And as I was sitting here talking to you guys tonight, I was thinking I added in some tea over the last couple of weeks. I've been drinking a little bit of tea, and I'm wondering if that tea is causing me to feel down. So gonna have to eliminate the oxalates again. Yep, could be the oxalates in the tea. Yep. So, the body it knows what it's doing. If we can give it the right fuel, the body will tell you exactly what you should and should not have. And I love that.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
So those pictures were amazing. I can't even recognize most of you guys in the beginning pictures. So that was awesome. And it just goes to show
towards the end.
Okay. It just goes to show you that we're all completely different people. And if we can do that, anybody can. Really. I mean, anybody can. They just have to know that why. The other thing that I think that I didn't really do in the beginning, I think G's talked about this a couple times, where get those before pictures. If you're somebody getting ready to start this or do this, get, we hid from the camera. At least I did. I was like, camera, I'm out, stage left. Get those beginning pictures. But on top of that, if you're not a big fan, I mean, I would still take a few pictures, is write down those measurements. Because I'm not kidding you, and I had been keto for 28 years, so I had already lost the majority of my weight. But what I didn't have great was I didn't have good muscle. And so I started measuring. I would put a measuring tape around my biceps, around my arms, everything, even my neck. And I just kept track of that. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, like Frederick told you, G, I started losing those bat wings. And, now, and I mean, 140 pounds gone. I don't have them. But some of that, yeah, but it's taken a little time. But that was, I think, a lot of the fasting. And you don't have to do long extended fasting, but I will tell you that I tried to do fasting quite a few times the last year and a half, 2 years I was on keto, and I just about couldn't do it. I mean, it was like a struggle the whole time. It was like, when's it going to be my 72 hours? When's it going to be? I mean, it was just like constantly on my mind because you're still addicted to those carbs that you can have, with keto. And I was one of those that I could test my blood sugar, eat, broccoli from my garden, which means it's as clean as could be, and it still would go up 200 to 300 points. And I was like, I can't even do that right, So I just say and you always have to give yourself some leeway. If you're somebody that wants to start fasting, is start small, get an accountability partner, somebody who's going to fast or has fasted. I have done that so many times with friends where they're like, oh, I want to fast. I'm like, I'll fast with you, so that you have somebody to do that, which fasting to me is like nothing. They're like, I have to have a colonoscopy. I'm like, I'm there. Let's do it. Not the colonoscopy part. They can have that.
I know.
I'm not doing that. But that's just what I would say, is that anybody can do this. And you really do learn how to listen to your body, not only with carnivore, but if you integrate fasting. The first time I did a 3-day fast, boy, let me tell you, there is something with the religions that use fasting. Oh boy, if there is anything that you have not worked out from your past or whatever, you're going to see it. It's coming, and you're going to have to face it, and you're going to have to. So I always tell people, be prepared. These things can come out, but you really do learn your body's cues, every single cue. Like you said, you can tell when you eat something, you're like, oh, I feel this. And so I think that's something wonderful with this way of eating for sure.
I agree with you, Laura, especially on the fasting. I probably haven't talked about it much, but I also implement that because I follow Dr. Sean O'Mara's protocol, and he advocates for doing a 36 to 72-hour fast weekly, which I was doing for a while. I did not do that this past month, but I'm going to incorporate that again. And it just helps so much. I find that I'm not even hungry most of the time. So a 36-hour fast is really easy for me. Mm-hmm. And another tip for doing that is before you fast, really eat well the day before you're going to fast. Eat a full ribeye, so really get that in, and that's going to satiate you and help sustain you through the fast. So that's part of, I think, my success story in losing that weight, because I followed strict carnivore in the beginning. When I first started in January, I started with the B&E challenge, and also implemented the weekly fasting. And my blood pressure, was normalized. My blood pressure used to be over 150 over 100. Oh, wow. And then every time I've been to the doctors this past few months, my blood pressure was within the normal range, around 120 over 80, sometimes less.
Good.
So that's part of my success story, which is my main why. And of course, the weight loss. Seeing those photos, which were amazing, but I agree with Laura to do those photos, which I had to dig them up. I couldn't find
Me
any
Me
because
too. Me too.
Laura, like you, I didn't want to take photos.
Y'all. Oh my God. That was like pulling
I'm,
teeth. I am not
so,
kidding.
I'm
Y'all,
surprised my husband had any.
Yeah.
And my highest weight, y'all, was 200 pounds. So
Oh, yeah.
to lose to, I don't know what I weigh today because of Thanksgiving, but my lowest weight, I got to 115. So,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
that's the success right there, along with improved sleep, improved energy. I mean, who can beat that? So that just keeps me motivated, keeps me going.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yep, absolutely. Well, let's see. So many things. I've always trying to think of the best things. Probably the biggest thing that I noticed right away was the brain fog lifting. People always talk about that. And as someone, I was in academia for many years. And so being able to concentrate and focus was such a big part of my life. And so a lot of it I just chalked up to, they say like baby brain or whatever. And I'm like, I permanently have babies. I permanently have baby brain. it's postpartum. It's the hormones are balancing. It's the lack of sleep. It's that I'm always up with kids, or I'm running a million miles, it's all the excuses because you're trying to figure out, why do I not have the attention span that I had before or when I was younger? And it really was just the food. It was the living on the carb and caffeine roller coaster that I was on, trying to compensate. And so within weeks, just feeling like that fog lifting and like, oh, I can actually focus on a grown-up book for more than 10 minutes. I can actually read it again, and I'm not just tired and fuzzy all the time. So that was really wonderful. And I was, and probably one of the physical benefits that I have noticed that I always forget to talk about is that I don't sunburn like I used to. So this is one of those things that it's the weirdest thing that I noticed years ago when I went on a low carb diet, or when I went gluten-free, that it improved in general. So I have kind of a theory that it has to do with the flour or the GMO flour, or there's something in the food somewhere that was making me more sun sensitive. But I had always assumed I'm a redhead. I have redhead skin. It's thin. It's not we're not known for our great skin, redheads in general, So
We're
I just
see-through.
always, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I would burn, peel, back to white, burn, peel, white. And it would happen 15 or 20 minutes on the beach, or just out in the sun in the summer. And it never got better. It's no point that where would you just build up any kind of tolerance to it. It was almost like I'd have friends that had been on medication for their skin or something, but it would make them really sun sensitive, or that it was like that. Like I just had no sun tolerance. And, this last year, this definitely noticed it this last summer, but also in February, we went to the beach in South Texas, and I could be outside all day and I would put on sunscreen like once. And by the end of the week, I was building up greater sun tolerance. I was building a tan. I was thinking about, I'm absorbing all of this vitamin D.
Yep.
And this summer, I never put on sunscreen the whole summer back in Tennessee. And it was so freeing to be able to be outside. And I thought, okay, there's something clearly was inhibiting my skin's ability to react properly with the sun. And so now it's just kind of a remarkable thing. And so I've seen just a general clarity and improvement in my skin in general, but also that it's such a big win that it's like one of those things you didn't even know was a problem. Like I thought it was genetic. Like that was just my makeup. I wasn't built for sunshine even. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I want to add one more. I just have to add one more. So seasonal allergies. I have not. Now, I'm a person who has had terrible allergies every single season. When the seasons change, my eczema would flare up around my eyes and around my mouth. And then also the running eyes, runny nose, sneezing, coughing, all of the things. And I really have not experienced that this year. So I used to take Zyrtec every day, at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. And I really have not had to take, I had to take it occasionally, but I literally had to take it every day for years. And so that seasonal allergies thing is also like, what? Can that be food related? That seems very strange, but it definitely is, because I have not had, we've changed multiple seasons since I started carnivore, and I have not had an experience with allergies that is anything close to what I have had in the past. So that was really
That's a
Well,
win.
if you think about it, it's an
Amazing.
immune response. And so your body, when your
Yeah.
body is confused by the food and the inflammation and the I didn't struggle with autoimmune disorders, but the number of carnivores that have talked about their autoimmune disorders clearing up or becoming more manageable. And so I think that's the same. I struggle with seasonal allergies. They're not gone, but it's a different world for me. Like you said, I don't
Yes.
take medication every day. I'm just sort of a little bothered by it here and there, because I feel like my body can actually discern between real problems now versus overreacting to everything.
Yep.
amazing.
But it's amazing.
Yeah.
So on that note, we're getting ready to do our question and answers, and we just really want to encourage everybody to submit their questions, to ask, and also tell us about your carnivore challenge, or just that what you're struggling with. We can help between all of us. We'll have ideas to help you with that, and also we want to celebrate any successes with you. So please let us know what your thoughts are, because we would love to answer them.
Perfect.
So I do have one
Lee,
more thing. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just had one more thing that I had kind of looked at, that little thing I had wrote up my why back in 1991, which was, I hated to read it because it was almost depressing, because I was like, that was definitely a 20-year-old woman, with years of being made fun of and all that kind of stuff. Which if I wrote that today, my why would be a lot different than that. Of course, it'd be more related to health and stuff like that. But another thing, a friend of mine sent me a quote, and I have no idea where she got it. But I thought, boy, if we could put this up on the mirror and look at that every day, because self-sabotage is something that I have done so many times. And I feel
So
like it's
many
probably a
times.
common theme. Yes. And so she sent this to me, and it says, quit letting who you were talk you out of who you're becoming. And I was like, ooh.
Amen.
So yeah. So that was
Love
it.
that.
That's good. That's good. So I do have some things in here, but real quick, I would like for everybody, Rebecca, we'll start with you if you don't mind. I'll chime in to what are some things to keep you motivated? We just made it through the holiday season number 2, because you had Halloween and now Thanksgiving. Just one quick thing that helps you to stay motivated and on track.
Biggest thing for me is being a good example for my kids. That's like a huge, I would love to say that it was entirely just like I had it within me to do it just for myself. It's there, but knowing that my example to my children keeps me on track way more than looking at myself in the mirror does than anything, because I'm so invested in their future, and just knowing that the food world's not getting better. Kids are not getting healthier if I don't. And people give me such a hard time on my channel about like that I'm going to give all my kids an eating disorder and everything. I'm like, look around. Like maybe it's extreme, but clearly what the world is doing is not working. Kids are not healthy. Kids are struggling left and right, and nothing they tell us is making it get better. So yeah, we're going to go out on a limb and try something really different. It's great. I don't think it's as bizarre as people on the internet want to make it out to be.
Right.
But
you're doing a phenomenal
this
job.
is like,
and
I
know
just,
for me, my thing right now is I promised my husband that for his birthday, that I would be 150 pounds for his birthday. Now, when I said it, I was almost 200. And trust and believe, I done said this many other years before, but this time I did it. And I want to be 130 by my birthday. And so I'm going to kick it up another notch. And it's just so I can be the best that I can be. And right now, there's just so many different ailments that was attacking the both of us, and not anymore. That's enough right there for me to say on topic. Go ahead, Robin.
Yep.
What
So
you
for
have?
me, I have an autoimmune condition called eczema. And particularly, I have it pretty much all over my body, but in my hands, it's called dyshydrotic eczema. And it's your hands basically blister up and then peel off. So that is a good motivation for me not to do anything. Over the weekend, I cut cake. Okay. I didn't eat cake. I sliced cake. I touched it with my hands, and my hand eczema flared completely up.
Wow.
Wow.
And I am like, this is not worth it. There's nothing that's worth dealing with that. I'll have to put some pictures in a video sometime of how my hands were. It's really like a trigger alert. If you look at, I had huge blisters inside my hands and they just peeled open. And it's just, there's nothing that's worth dealing with that.
Nope.
So that is a thing that motivates me to stay on track. Like just touching something sweet caused my hands to, and it itches so bad. It itches so bad. And so that is a big motivation for me, is that whenever my hand eczema starts to flare, like it did with that fish, and then over the weekend with touching that cake, there's nothing that's worth having that happen, having your whole hands just peel off. I didn't even have fingerprints for a while because my hands just peeled off.
Wow.
So, it's not a fun thing to deal with. So I'm motivated to stay on track because of that. And then I have some other things too, like anxiety that I'm trying to deal with. So I'm dealing with trying to get rid of things that I don't want anymore. More so than, like I'm just so motivated. I am motivated, but I'm motivated by the fact that I know that a proper human diet can get rid of this stuff. And so that's what I'm looking for.
And real quick, everybody that's watching, I will replay the before and after pictures. So just hold tight. Go ahead, Laura.
Yeah. So originally when I did keto, it was to lose the weight and to prove my doctor wrong. And that's my personality. I was like, I will prove you wrong. The reason that I went carnivore is because anxiety, depression, getting ready to go through menopause. And I just knew coming from a medical background that had to make it easier. And it absolutely 100%. I had been on, I can't remember the name of the SSRI, venlafaxine, which I think is Effexor. And I was on the middle dose. And I'm not somebody who just quit something cold turkey with an SSRI. I did kind of, slowly taper down, but I have been off of that for 3.5 years. So it took 6 months on the carnivore, and I was able to get off of that, which my doctor was like, oh, you'll never be off those. And I'm like, we'll see. The other thing that keeps me motivated is my job, my career of being a nurse and taking care of, the general public, and seeing all of this absolutely, I almost call it hedonism, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but we've kind of gotten hedonistic. We start these kids out on sugary stuff so young, and it's like, it's just ingrained in them. I mean, I literally saw a mother who, I bet her hair had been up really pretty in the beginning when she got to the store, but she was just disheveled by the end of it because these kids were, they were throwing themselves on the floor. They were ripping at her. And I was like, I'd be beating some ass, but you ain't supposed to do that, I guess. But I was like, I would. But, and I thought, gosh, look what we're doing to these kids. And then they grow up to become sick adults. And, yes, that keeps me busy, but I don't want to be that busy. And so I want to be able to show by example to my patients of the healing that this lifestyle can do. And, some of them, they don't want to go carnivore. They're more ketovore. And I'm like, hey, if that gets rid of the majority of your issues, you feel better and all that, I'm fine with that. I'm like, I'm
I
not
know
your
that's
boss,
right.
but what do you want to feel? How good do you want to feel? And, I felt okay on keto for a long time, but then watching Ken Berry, I was like, oh, I might be able to feel better and get rid of
Yep.
brain fog. I can't imagine if I'd have went through nursing school with this. Dang, I might have been a nurse practitioner. Maybe not. I don't like to be bossed around. So, but that's my why of doing carnivore.
Yeah.
Miss
So
Rhonda.
what I do to, help with my motivation. Well, one thing I do, I watch a lot of the carnivore influencers like Dr. Berry and Dr. Chafee. But another thing that I think helped me is, setting aside time to thoroughly envision what like my life would have been like if I didn't do carnivore, what my life would have been like, doing it. And so what would that look like? And I had to thoroughly, we have to thoroughly expect results because, it's like going to a job. We don't go to a job and when we go to our job, we expect to be paid. So we expect that. So we have to go into this lifestyle the same way, expecting results. And I found that, writing the vision down, I wrote my vision down, made it plain, and it comes to
Yes.
fruition. So we create our reality, we create our vision. You can do a vision board and get the picture in our head of what we really want to look like, and it will come to pass. Also, too, is not to, this is a continuum journey, and not to expect perfection. It's really hard on us to be trying to be perfect at everything. So there's no human on this planet that's perfect, no matter how much they say they are. So if we do fall or fail, it's really the consistency. That's the key. What we do 98% of the time. And sometimes if we fall, that's the 2%, but we just get back up and try again. And there's a Christian song I used to hear all the time on Caleb. That's by Toby Mac. It's an old song, Get Back Up. When we lose our way, get back up again. Never too late to get back up again. One day you will shine again. You may be knocked down, but not out forever. So that keeps me motivated.
Nice.
That's phenomenal. That's good, lady. So here's one comment. I live with pasta, rice, soda-centric family members, so she's afraid to fast. She does an 18-6, and after her last meal, she run and lock herself in the room. OMG. No, don't run. All right, so Paul wants to know, what do we think about corned beef? I'm gonna tell you right now, Paul. I'll stop at Harris Teeter and I'll get a small amount and I'll roll it and I'll snack on it going down the road, so the acid in my stomach don't bounce up. But my husband don't like how it smells in the car. So
I like corned beef. I do like corned beef, but I wouldn't put those seeds in. I never put that seed packet. Never, even before carnivore, I never used that. It was just too much. But I do enjoy corned beef.
But if you look at the ingredients, it's a lot of stuff that it's packed in for that flavor as well. Meeting Wellness wanted to say, I noticed the same with Sunburn. She's not a redhead, but very fair and would burn nearly instantly. Now, you stay out quite a while and not burn.
I know that Carrie said that. Carrie from Homestead House said that. That was one of the big things he talked about, was not carnivores don't get sunburn.
When I was keto and the Two Keto Dudes Facebook group was open, we used to do a 3-day fast once a month as a group to support each other who wanted to participate. Here's the thing. And I had shared this once. I have a knot under my arm. Ended up having an ultrasound, and I went on the fast, and the knot got smaller. And one of the things, my chest was breaking out. Don't know what it was coming from. Finally got into the dermatologist. They said it was reacting to some medicine, and I'm looking at them saying, but I'm not on any medicine. It could have been something residual. I don't know. But after the fast, my chest no longer broke out. So that was wonderful. So wait, I'm looking for the question right here, Miss Tracy. Who wants to take this? How long does it take to get the body back in ketosis on average? So if Miss Tracy did a little partaking over the holiday, how long would it take to get you back into ketosis?
I think that depends, because it'll depend on was she carnivore previous to this up until she fell off and got knocked out of ketosis. But if that is the case, you can get back into ketosis within probably about 12, 16 hours, pretty easy.
Right.
So it just depends on what was she prior to that. If she's somebody who's been in ketosis for quite a while, you can get back in 12 to 16 hours really easily, especially if you fast. You're going to get yourself into it real quick.
All right, here's another question that we look. I don't know if y'all remember that that HBO show Nurse Jackie.
Yes.
Has anyone here been helped with CPTSD since starting carnivore?
And she said, what was the letters?
CPTSD.
CPTSD.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Is it post-traumatic? Like, I'm not sure what the.
No, not. It's not. Okay. Metabolic Mama, give me a little bit more on that one. Let me go down here. She often see. Where is Pursuit comment? Okay, here we go. She said, this isn't a question. She was just saying, oh no, I did that one already. Girl, I must have really just been attracted to your thing. And she has the pasta. Hold on. What is this one right here? Oh, let's see what Deborah has to say. Deborah says,
hey, Deborah.
Thank you, ladies,
thank you for being here.
To be in this incredible group. I am new to carnivore lifestyle. 42 days. Woo!
Yes.
You made that
amazing.
30, yes. And I'm working towards
That's
90
awesome.
days. Very good. I happened to see Robin's videos, which led me to the rest of you. Your testimonies are so motivating. Please keep up and keep, you look amazing. So remember, guys, I am going to, let me show y'all the video again. Hold on. Let me get on over here. That's not it. And wait a minute. Let me remove the comment first because I got a feeling that it might not. All right, so go over here. And this is our before and after video. Look at that muscle on that after. Yeah.
That's right.
What?
Look at that back.
Oh my God.
Everybody, that's Laura.
That's Rhonda.
Robin.
Yeah.
Rhonda. That's Rhonda.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know, Rebecca.
Look at
amazing.
Amazing.
Ooh, yeah.
Look at that. Oh, I'm so fat. Jesus.
But look at you now.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's amazing.
Look at you now.
Even G, recognize you, G.
Go, G. She fine, y'all. She fine.
Yeah.
You are so
Wow.
funny. Yes. I told him I feel good.
We all look different. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And just listening, like Laura talked about, but I watched Rhonda, her arms. I don't think you've had an after surgery. So
No, I didn't.
I'm excited.
Somebody asked me that too.
I get asked that a lot.
Saying that you even implemented fasting, and I just want to say that one of the ladies that went through her first 30 days with me, one of the things she said is that because a lot of churches will fast in January. She's like, I almost feel bad because I'm gonna be able to do the fast.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be fasting in January.
I'll do that too. Yes.
No problem whatsoever. And I think that is just like that's beautiful that you don't have that issue anymore. So Real quick, Rebecca and Rhonda was going to share some quick meal.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh wait, I got to put that comment up. Ooh, the black dress was fine.
Yes, honey. Yes.
Okay, so go ahead, you ladies, share a couple of things with us that we can do.
You're on mute, I think.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yep, it's the
sound.
sound.
I'm waiting for Rebecca. My easy, quick meal that I really love, especially this time of year when it's cold and it's like soup season. I love making egg drop soup. And so after Thanksgiving, I did take the turkey carcass and I made bone broth with that. And usually when I make egg drop soup, I do the beef bone broth, but I wanted to utilize the turkey. So I did that. And then I also, shredded the turkey that I had left over in the soup. And then, so after the bone broth is made, heated it up, and then you just scramble a couple of eggs, and then you just pour it into the soup and it starts flouring up. And that's called egg drop soup. So quick and easy and so satisfying. And you could put anything else you want. I add butter to it to add more fat because turkey is more lean. But you can put like meatballs, anything, any kind of meat you want in it. So that's my go-to.
So I do have a question, Rhonda. When you get to, I understand when you drop the egg white in, because I can see the hot it's going to do. Do you pop the yolk or you just kind of drop the yolk as well?
Oh, I scramble the whole egg together, the egg white, the whole thing, and then you just pour it in and it flours up. Yeah, the whole thing kind of flours.
I missed that. I was envisioning the white. What's she doing with the
No,
yolk?
the whole thing. It's yellow. It's yellow. It looks yellow.
Yeah.
So that's I had it today before this live, and it was just so good. Totally carnivore, all carnivore.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Very good. Is your sound
can you hear me
Rebecca?
now?
Yes.
I can hear you now. Yes. Okay. I don't know what's up with my technical difficulties coming and going today. It's great. So I'm also thinking about a soup that it's not one I do a lot because it's kind of a dairy heavy, but this is for me like one of those like comfort treat foods, and that's where we will take either like a salmon or shrimp or both, or sometimes I'll even add steak. So I just kind of pick a meat and I will fry it up in a lot of butter. So like a fillet of salmon with some shrimp and then like a whole stick of butter and till it's good and cooked. And then I will add in some cream, like heavy whipping cream, and then simmer it down. And so it comes out with this really rich, creamy, like it almost tastes like cheese, or I mean, it's so rich and creamy. And it is one of my favorite comfort foods because I love hot soup, especially as it gets cold. And I'll do that just like every other week because if I eat too much dairy, it doesn't really suit me very well. But that is one of those things, is finding those like rich moments of it. And it's so filling. And especially if I add a little steak in there, I'll put little bites of steak or whatever, but it can fix any flavor palette too. I mean, it's something you could do with a chicken or a turkey or whatever, but just that rich, creamy sauce makes me feel like it is such a treat. Like I almost feel like I'm cheating because I'm just like, this feels like
my mouth is watering
in it or something. So
sounds good to me.
I love it.
Sounds amazing.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, listen, ladies, let's wrap it up. Our next episode, the power of community support land.
Nice.
Community support. And we're going to implement some giveaways.
Yay.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, we got a little something. I'm going to put that up there. Francis says, I don't understand the fasting idea. Why and how often? Somebody think of what they want to say in regards to that.
For me, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted to answer the question now. Well, for me,
you can, but I was just going to let them know we're going to start our first giveaway next Monday. Haven't thought it all the way through, but I try to treat people how I want to be treated, and I would just love to get a gift from me. So I'll show it. No, we'll show it next week. It's gonna be really cute. I am not kidding. So I wanted to kind of throw that out there. But go ahead,
Okay.
Rhonda, and for your fasting, why and how often.
Okay. I'm sure Laura will have a better explanation though, because she's a nurse. But for me, because I follow Dr. Sean Amara's protocol, I've learned from him that fasting induces autophagy, which autophagy is where your body is cleaning up the dead, damaged cells. So your body is just cleaning it all out. So it's eating it all up or getting rid of it. And I know there's other benefits to fasting, but I believe it's like a hermetic effect too that makes you stronger. So what doesn't kill you make you stronger, but I do it for the autophagy. And then Dr. Berry had a video, and on there they talked about fasting and how you won't have as much loose skin if you're losing a lot of weight and fasting. So that's another reason I did it. I didn't want a lot of loose skin. So Laura, do you have anything to add to that as a nurse?
It also helps. Most of us are coming from where we were intolerant. Our insulin was, high, just like the sugar was high. So this works at a chemical type in our body to help decrease and make us more sensitive to insulin, which goes into the autophagy where you break down the cells and get rid of those. It actually also is so good to boost your immunity. Your killer B and killer T cells are kind of like fed when you do that. And if you think back to where we came from as species, we weren't sitting down eating 3 meals a day. You might have a good hunt, and it might be a long time, before you went and caught something again, and you didn't lay down and die. So your body, as long as you have 2 fat cells laying in there, will convert, to ketones, and it's a cleaner fuel to use anyway. I always say sugar is like kindling. It starts the fire real quick, but then it burns up. And fat and ketones is more like charcoal. It takes you a few minutes to get it started, but then it stays lit. The other thing is it crosses the blood-brain barrier. I'm kind of a nerd, so that just means it helps turn on the energy of the brain, and you will feel it. Absolutely. So that's kind of the nerdy reason why that I do that. And plus the loose skin, because I'm a little vain.
Excellent.
We all are.
Perfect answer.
Out of everything y'all saying, that's gonna be the reason why I start fasting.
All right.
Take care of them bat wings, honey. Yeah. What?
Right.
These are the bat wings. What you call that piece between the thighs?
Fat thigh.
Is that? Yes, the
Haven't
facts right there need to go. All right, another good show, ladies. Thank you. Let me see. As time goes, we understand why God wanted us to fast. All right. So thank you guys so much. Hey, Barb, just popping in. Another show for the books, guys. Another show for the books. So we will see you guys next Monday.
Yes. Can't wait.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
All right.